Yes. I know I haven't been on for a minute for reasons beyond my control. I didn't really invite no one. If people show up, they show up. Uh, it's a couple of things that I believe is important that needs to be discussed with regards to our struggle. And I needed to use this opportunity to speak on it. It don't take no genius to look at our situation and realize that we are in trouble. I mean, not just we as a people, but for those brothers and sisters who claim to represent the interests of our community, represent the interests of our people, the revolutionary community. We're also in trouble. We're just as divided as our people in the community. But yet we all claim to represent our community. We all claim to proclaim that we're here for our community. But yet the same chaos that exists in the community also exists within the revolutionary community. The division, the hate. If you have the same common goal and you are here committed to fighting for our people, sacrificing for our people, you coming in 35 minutes. Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, I heard what she said, Shima. 35 minutes. That's what you told Paul. Yeah. I get it when you come back. Excuse me, guys. My thing is that if you're committed to saving our community, especially our kids, I'm going to live and die for you. I'm going to fight for you. May you be a revolutionary or not. I wouldn't care if you're a Muslim, a Christian, a Black Israelite. If you're committed to building our community and you prepared to die for our kids, our people, I'm going to die for you. I'm going to live for you. Simple as that. I'm not going to use your political or your religious beliefs as a means to divide us, especially when you have the best interests of our people at heart. I'm not going to play the ism game. I'm not going to use these as a means to divide us further. Because a lot of time we use this really as a form of escapism. Well, I'm not going to support this because this brother or sister is a Christian or a Muslim or a socialist or this. You find all the reason not to fight the fight. As long as you're committed and your actions and deeds not harming the community, I'm with you on this. I'm with you on this. You have to look back at our community and look at the suffering of our community. What is our priority? We spend more time yelling and talking and fighting each other opposed to serving the community. Are we not the vanguards of the community? Do we not claim to represent our community? They're still suffering. But we find all this time to fight and combat each other. Is this really about the community or is it about you? I learned a long time ago that a revolutionary, that a guerrilla, is known through his actions and deeds. If you believe in something, your actions and deeds should be a manifestation of that belief. If I say that I have an unconditional love for my people, that love would be a manifestation directly every day to reinforce that belief. That I'm prepared any given time to give it all up for my people. There's no question in that. For those who know me, the opposition fully understand that I'll give it all for my people, especially our women, children, and elders, without a thought process. There's nothing to think about when it comes to my people, our children. None whatsoever. We don't support one another. And we can say this over and over again. That's a fact. The question becomes, what do we have to do to resolve that contradiction? What can we do to bring our brothers and sisters together? Come together. If we're serious, I'm talking about new African revolutionaries. I'm talking about revolutionaries, period. Man, you be a Black Panther, a Muslim, a Christian. If you're serious about the community, if you're serious about our future generation, what is preventing you from uniting with like-minded brothers and sisters to fight for our community. If we're sincere in that fight. If you got kids in the community starving, I'm not going to ask that kid, is you a Christian? Is you a Muslim? Is you an Israelite? That kid don't give a damn about your belief. That kid is suffering daily. That kid is hungry every day. And whoever feed that kid, that's who he or she going to look up to. Whatever the conditions that are being imposed on our community, on our people, whoever come to resolve those conditions is the people they're going to support. And they wouldn't care who you are. If Christians come to solve the problems in our community, that's what people are going to support. If Muslims, if socialists, if capitalists, if a bunch of non-believer, devil-worshipping brothers and sisters come to the community and solve the day-to-day conflicts and contradictions that plague our community, that's what people are going to support. It's that simple. That's who they're going to support. That simple. One of the things that we're trying to do, and one of the things that we're trying to build, the Black Progressive Prison Rights Movement is an evolving ideal and concept. We believe that you don't fight a battle that you're not prepared to win. That also is applicable to an organization that is committed to serving the community. Our focus is to build an organization that will be able to effectively serve the community and sustain that service for a long period of time. We're not getting caught in no debates. I wouldn't care what you think about me, how you think about me. I don't care nothing about that. Just don't put your hands on me and my loved ones. You have to worry about me. My focus is the suffering of our community. That's my only concern. Is the stabilization of our community, the security of our community, the protection and defense of our people, and the perpetuation of our existence as a people. That's all that matters to me. As a revolutionary, that's all I live for. That's all I'm prepared to die for. I know that my life belongs to the people, and I fully understand that. I understand that there's a 99% chance I'll never see daylight again. And I know some people say, Abdul, you need to speak to the positive, not the negative. And I get them on that, and I understand that, and I truly understand that. But I understand our opposition too well. And I also understand me. I'll never put my life before the people, no matter what the situation may be. Never. Nor will I ever hesitate in defense of the people. One of the things that I want to do is help to build a movement and organization that's going to stabilize our community. I want that to be a part of our legacy. We're not going to see it in our time. I understand that. But it must be done. No matter what type of society that you're fighting for, the stabilization of our community is key in accomplishing that objective. When you build something, it needs to be built upon a strong foundation. Without that foundation, whatever you build is weak and it's going to come down. And the community is our foundation. But we have to stabilize that foundation. It's not stable. Far from being stable. And I'm not just speaking about the drugs and gang violence. I'm talking about our inability to come together and work together. Our inability to pool the resources that we have, the spending power. We have all these different obstacles that we ourselves create. No matter how many times I've said this, and I've been saying this since 2005, since Hurricane Katrina, we have, as a movement, have yet to prepare our community for a national disaster. But yet we'll keep talking about what the government have not done for us. A government that we already say that don't give a damn about us. don't care nothing about us. But yet, we've made no effort to prepare our people for a national disaster. We've made no effort. We can sit here and talk and talk and talk, but yet our community is still suffering. Our community still don't know what the hell to do in time of a national disaster. But we'll blame the government, Red Cross, and everybody else. But as revolutionaries, what is preventing us from getting off our tail and arming our community with the resources, the skills, the skill set to prepare themselves for a national disaster? What is stopping us from doing it? But soon something happened, like Hurricane Katrina. We'll all waste no time to come together talking about what the government did and did not do. But how about you? What did you do and did not do? Because that matters. What the government do doesn't matter. We already knew that the government was corrupt. We already knew that this government didn't give a damn about our people. And if you truly believe that and know that, then your actions indeed should be indicative of that belief then. I'm not going to rely or depend. I'm not going to put the lives of our people in the hands of a government I know doesn't give a damn about us. And then to debate and argue that is a contradiction in itself. We know that the so-called educational system is miseducating our young people. But yet we made no effort to support our charter schools. I'm talking about Afrocentric charter schools, to support our charter schools, to support culture and educational centers in our community that's controlled and owned by us. We make no effort to support that. But yet we know that the educational system, or the so-called educational system, is miseducating our young people. We know that home ownership is important, that we must purchase the land and purchase the homes in our community, the businesses in our community. We all speak about this, but what efforts are being made to unite on this particular belief system? Are we pooling our resources together to put into a black bank that will allow us to buy every home in our community, every business in our community? Until we do that, that's not our community. We'll always be subjected to someone's eviction. Because if they put down a collective eviction, the majority of us will be homeless. Because the majority of us do not own the homes in our communities. We don't own the businesses or the land by which our communities sit on. And then when it comes to community, we as a people do not act like a community. I talked to a brother not too long ago, and he told me he don't even know his own neighbor. He's been there 6 years. But we'll blame that on Willie Lynch and blame that on everybody else but ourselves. And I told him, what is preventing you from getting off your butt, going next door to meet your neighbor? And you've been living there for 6 years. Especially when you claim to be a conscious individual. You claim, your neighbor don't claim to be a conscious individual. But you claim to be a conscious individual, but yet you make no effort whatsoever to reach out to that family next door to you. But yet you say you're a revolutionary, you're a freedom fighter. How can you fight for people's freedom when you make no effort to know that people by what you're fighting for? It don't make no sense. As I've often stated when I told the story when I was a youngster, my father made sure that I went door to door every day. You've seen me every day at the age of 10, 11, 12, 13 years old. I was at your door every day. What can I do for you? What can we do to help you help yourself? My father taught me that. He instilled that within me as a Black Panther. And I went door to door asking every day. That's what I did. Every single day. With no regrets. I enjoyed hooking up with the elders. I enjoyed doing the things that I was doing for them. Those things can be done to this day. I'm not saying it's easy. I understand how difficult it is. I understand that the community settings now are different than it exists back in the 60s and 70s. I understand that. And everything I'm saying, I'm not disputing or dismissing the fact that it is different. I'm not dismissing the fact that it's more complicated and difficult. No, I'm not dismissing that. But we have to bring our head together and find an answer. And it's now think about the chess concept. We as a people is carrying around these checkerboards, playing chess, playing checkers with a person that's playing chess. I'm talking about the government. The government's playing chess. This is why he's 20, 30 years ahead of us. We playing checkers one move at a time. A chess mind requires that you think before you move. You think before you speak. You lay off your objectives. You lay down your objectives and ask yourself, how do I get there? I reiterate this concept over and over again because it's important. You can also say this is critical thinking. But I use the chess analogy to facilitate the process itself. When you look at a checkmate, you looking at your objective. And I say this here, say your checkmate is, I want to eradicate hunger among my people. Also, I want to eradicate hunger within the entire Black diaspora. That's my checkmate. So in order to achieve that, I must get there and snatch that king to eradicate hunger in my community. So how do I get there? I got my pawns, my rooks, my knights, my queen. All these are the tools that I have to employ to get to that checkmate, which represent the eradication of hunger and starvation in our community. Each of these pawns represent programs, resources that I'm moving. Because there's going to be a counter. The government going to do everything in their power to counter your efforts. Your own people going to stand in your way. So these are natural contradictions that you have to overcome. So I understand when I put my pawns down, I say, okay, this pawn here is representation of putting together a trust fund that's specifically designed to finance our objectives as it relates to the eradication of hunger and starvation among our people, especially our children. 2, we have a land fund to allow us to acquire land, not just the community gardens, but land itself that will allow us to farm our own land, provide healthy food for our people. Here go a government here. We already know they're not going to give us the loan that we need to do this. So we have to raise our own funds. So every pawn you have is a strategy or is a tactic towards your strategy. Remember, your strategic goal, your checkmate, is a representation of the eradication of hunger among our people. Every pieces that you have is at your disposal to achieve that. So man, you have your rook, your knight, your bishop. You have to utilize all your pieces to get it done. That means you have to sit back and think. How can we accomplish this? How can we checkmate hunger and starvation among our people? And you can replace that checkmate with gang violence, drugs, unemployment, a lack of home ownership, a lack of businesses in our community that's owned by us. Your checkmate represent those objectives and goals that are going to stabilize our community and facilitate our effort in the future to liberate our community, to liberate our people, to free the land. That's why I always use chess as an analogy, because it calls one to think. Even when I look at a brother or sister that I may oppose in certain areas, I have to look overall. Is it worth jeopardizing the accomplishment of a goal that can serve all our community? Okay, you a Christian. I may not agree with Christianity, but that has nothing to do with me. That's between you and your God. And as long as you ain't imposing that white Jesus Christ stuff on my people, then I'm not going to say nothing. If you do that, I'm going to say something, because that's crap. That's bogus. Jesus was not white. Even the very Bible that you believe in tell you Jesus was not white. And not only that, if you study the history, the person who was assigned to draw Jesus, he himself tell you, I use my cousins and my son, my brothers as models. That's a concrete fact. So outside of that, whatever your religion may be, that's between you and your God. As long as that's not destroying our community, harming our community, I'm not going to fight and challenge that. I'm not going to waste my time challenging that. One thing that we do know is that our people are suffering. Our community is suffering. And that's not going to change until we come together and do something about it. See, it's easy to fight one another, but it's hard to come together and do for one another. Even those who claim to be revolutionaries still got their slave mentality. Well, I fight another slave, quit. But to fight that which is harming our people, our community, I make every excuses in the world not to confront that. I come with all these philosophical and theoretical and all these funny isms to justify why I'm sitting on my butt not doing nothing. But yet I claim and proclaim that I love the children. I love my people. But it seems like every act that I commit contradicts that love, undermines that love. If I proclaim the love of my people, that means, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but that means every day of my life, I'm going to reflect that love in the service of my people and community. It's that simple. That's all I'm saying. There's nothing going on in our community that we cannot solve or stop. I understand that gang violence is a complicated issue. I'm not saying that it's easy. It's not going to change overnight. It's not going to change over a year. It's going to take a generational objective to address that issue, and I understand that. But where is the generational objective? Where is the generational agenda? What is our national agenda that we all can get behind? Even among the Black Panther movement, there's a split. There's division. Come on. Everybody want to be the top leader. You don't become a leader by doing that bottom feeding. Your actions and deeds will qualify and quantify your ability to lead. The services that you provide will define who you is, what kind of leader you are. May you be an individual or an organization. The people going to know you through your service. They're not going to sit here and watch and listen to you engage in unnecessary arguments and rhetoric between another group. They're going to ask, what are you doing to resolve these problems that is facing us as a people? I don't have a job. What are you doing about that? I can't pay my bills. What are you doing about that? We got kids in the community that don't have shoes, clothes, books. What are you doing about that? I don't feel secure in my community. What are you doing about that? Those are the questions that the people want answered. I'm not going to sit here and listen to one Black Panther chapter criticize the other and then spend time on this for years. Do you really know what the Black Panther Party is about? In the 60s and 70s, the government under the COINTELPRO orchestrated every conflict and contradiction that exists in the party. Now, it has nothing to do with the COINTELPRO. It's egos. Is this really truly about the Panther spirit? Is this truly about serving our people, serving our community, or serving yourself, or serving your ego? If we really believe as revolutionaries that the interests of our people come first, we shouldn't be in the situation we are in. I'm not saying if you got a group or individual that is imposing a serious threat on our community, I'm not speaking on that. I'm talking about a brother or sister or group that may have an opposing belief system or idea that you may not agree with. That's why we must communicate. Come together. No one single group or individual have all the answers. If we all have all the answers, then something ain't right because we still suffering. Our community still tore up. But yet everybody claim to have this answer. Do I have to wait 30 years to see it? Do I have to wait thousands of years for something to drop out the sky? How do I feed my children right now is what the people are asking me. Do I have to embrace your belief to see it happen? How do I unemploy? How do I employ my unemployed right now? How do I own my home right now? What steps do we have to do to get it done? You the leader, you the vanguard, you the visionary. You say that you're going to navigate us through this crap. Then navigate. Then lead. Be the vanguard you claim to be. I don't want to get caught up in your debates and arguments. Where's the program that's going to allow me to feed my kids? I'm not talking about handing me a grocery bag every month. And the food in that grocery bag belongs to the opposition. Show me land that we can farm ourselves and contribute towards the development of that land so we can feed ourselves. Show me the water supply that will allow us to provide clean and healthy water so we don't have to depend on a government who's motivated by greed. See, my brother, that's your choice. See, I wouldn't even debate that with you or anybody else. You see what I'm saying? Because that's the individual choice. If you don't want to work with a Christian or you don't want to work with a Muslim, that's your choice. If that Christian brother and sister is committed to serving the community, I'm going to choose to work with that individual till he or she prove otherwise. Till he or she prove otherwise. I'm not talking about a preacher who's lining his pocket with the people's money. As I stated at the onset, that brother and sister must have the best interest of the people at heart. If his or her actions is not harming the community, I'm going to support that individual if it's going to solve the problem that exists in our community. Martin Luther King was a Christian. Nat Turner was a Christian. Fannie Lou Hamer was a Christian. You had a lot of brothers and sisters who affect change, may you agree with their beliefs or not, was Christians. Demar Vesey, Davy Walker. These were brothers who in the 1800s declared independent state in this country, fought for an independent state in this country. Davy Walker died for that. Demar Vesey died for that. Martin Delaney died for that. And guess what? It was Christians. And they believe in establishing an independent state away from America. Yes, I'm not talking about them clowns, my sister. Oh, no. Them dudes who are lining their pocket with the hard-earned money from our people, yes, we got to get rid of them. They're the enemy. Yes, they're the enemies. So I'm not speaking about them. I'm speaking about those brothers and sisters, regardless of their beliefs, who are committed to the people. That's all I'm speaking on. May they be Muslim, Christians, non-believers, whatever they may be. Because we get caught, like right now, we as a community are still stuck on that. We still stuck on it. We still stuck on it. We still stuck on these divisions. We perpetuate the division. We still stuck on it. There are brothers and sisters in the community that's doing a lot of good work for the community. You may not agree with their belief system, but just analyze their work product. Study their work product and see what they're doing. Oftentimes we sit back and find things wrong with the whole issue. So I'm not going to support that because he's this or she's that. That's one of the problems now. We continue to perpetuate the Willie Lynch process because we'll find reason not to support the cause and continue to perpetuate the division that exists among us. But yet, we for the people. But yet, this for our future. Then we wonder why we're in the position we're in now. Hundreds and hundreds of years stuck on stupid. Look around you. Look at our communities. It's been unstable since our forced arrival. And we can't keep blaming the external factors because they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, keeping us oppressed. It's not the external elements that are going to free us. It's the internal elements. Us, we. We're our own liberator. Our liberation will depend on what we do, not what they do. We're responsible for breaking the chain of psychological and shadow slavery. We are, not them. That fact alone tells us what we're doing is keeping them chains on our brains and on our ankles and wrists. When are we going to break them? But we continue to repeat that same cycle over and over and over again. And it sounds good. It don't even sound good. I ain't gonna lie. It sounds good to the individual, but it don't sound good. And that's why I always tell people, look outside your front door. You look at them kids. Look at all the kids that are dying that can't be saved. Look at all our people, our women, our children who are suffering from ills that are solvable if we come together and do the right thing. If you see that kid walking down the street with no shoes, it's obvious that their parents is having problems, struggling. What is stopping you from helping that parent? Because what? He or she's a Muslim, a Christian, a non-believer, a Buddhist, whatever. That's why. Oh, I'm going to penalize the kids for this. Yeah, that's why I'm going to be just like my enemy. Parasites. I'm going to fuck this hell with that. Your little 9-year-old ass going to suffer because your mom and daddy are Muslims or Christians or black Hebrews or non-believers. You're going to pay for them. And then we act like we're doing something. I bid you guys peace. Think about what I've said.